Unfortunately, for the experience that we have that almost 5 months now, I do not build too much expectation where there are discussions, because discussions can be broken, can be stopped, and until something is not agreed, I do not build too many expectation, because after that the disappointment is very high. So I'm staying positive. I hope something will happen, but unfortunately, I learned not to build expectation too much until we know something is really happening.
Sure. Now, the government, the Israeli government, decided not to send, according to reports, not to send the hostage negotiators back to Cairo until Hamas releases a list of those hostages still alive and potentially could be released in a deal. Listen, for each hostage family, there's a different attitude, of course, to how things are being handled and whether they want to comment publicly or not on how they are being handled by the government. Do you have anything to say on that matter?
So I think we need to be in any negotiations. We need to be there. Well, of course, we shouldn't agree until something is not agreed by the Israel government. But we need to be in the discussions, because without being there, we cannot make sure there are progress on the way we want. If we're just telling them between you, we must be part of the discussions. We cannot just be outside and wait for something to happen for us. And I believe that Israel presence there is required, must be there, someone from Israel.
Right, I do understand that. How do you feel? Last night saw the march to Jerusalem reach the Hostage Families Forum reach its march from the Gaza border until Jerusalem. We saw demonstrations demanding a hostage deal now with the public. How do you feel about how the public reception to what you just said, the message you just received? You feel the Israeli public is behind you? There are, of course, differing opinions about what the cost of a hostage deal should be. What are your feelings?
Well, my feeling is, first, we need to be everywhere. I think the public is with us, the majority of the public, and we saw it yesterday. I marched in the last 2 days of the march, and the amount of people that were behind us was amazing. And also in the rally at the evening, so many people were there. So it's very, very warming to know that people supporting us and willing to stop whatever they're doing and spend their Saturday with us. So this shows us that people are still with us, but we continue to do this because we need this support to continue. Because as I believe, and I think many of the people believe, this must be number one priority of everyone in Israel, bringing them back home. And if we won't do that, so and there is no other option. And this is why I believe that we need to be every other discussion and try to do everything we can in order to bring them home. And of course, in negotiation, sometimes some things can be hard, and you shouldn't agree on everything the other side asks. But from the other end, we know how cruel our enemy is, and we know the time for the hostages is running out. They don't have time. And this is why we must do whatever we can in order to bring them home. All the other tasks need to be dealt after that. But first, do whatever you can. Go to the negotiation, talk to them, find the right thing to do, the right way to do it. But if you came and talk to them and then you couldn't come to agreement, it's different. But if you're not there, of course, there will be no agreement and they will not come home.
All right. Finally, is there anything, can you share with us anything about how your mother, Margalit, is doing and feeling, her recovery from her horrendous experience? And, of course, the concern she, of course, must have for your father.
Yes. Well, my mother is physically, she's pretty much okay now. It's been more than 2 months since she came back. She's feeling much better. She took it to the right way. She's very empowered. She's a hero, of course, and that's it. Of course, she supports us whenever she can. She comes to the rallies. She's doing whatever she can in order to help us, her children, to bring our father back and all the other hostages. Because, as you know, Kibbutz Nir Oz, many people from Nir Oz are still there. We have 28 live people that are still in Gaza, and 9 people which are already murdered but still there, and we need all of them to be back together with all the other hostages. But so we need to, she's active as much as she can in order to do things to bring them home.